seems to be like this for me.
Yeah,
Weird.
it's okay.
People complaining I'm too quiet when I'm on the computer, and I have people complaining I'm too loud when I'm on the PlayStation. Discord just doesn't seem to like balance it.
Yeah,
It's Discord. Discord just doesn't like anything. Discord is kind of going down the gutter slowly, but it's okay for now.
Oh yeah, I moved the dice tray around. The dice tray's over there now. I need to fix that. There we go. Dice tray is now over here again. That's why I couldn't see it. There we go. So we have all of that. I've hit record. We have getting started. So, excuse you.
Sorry, I am drinking a soda.
Yep. So, recap from the previous session. You all went to the sewers in search of the Nosferatu kindred of Rotfiend. Mainly because Rotfiend had evidence on which member of the Anarchs was a rat who was basically selling or fucking with the Baron Basalt specifically, but also exchanging information and kind of like working with the Sabbat, or in like working in ways to undermine the Anarchs of Dublin, which put Dublin in danger. But mainly just pissing off Damien Basalt. So you were sent there to find Rotfiend, find the rat. They had a suspicion of who the rat was. So what they did was they put them in a room. That room was going to get to daytime at some point. So that person was going to be watched. If they weren't the rat, they'd be let go. If they were the rat, then leave them in the room and make sure that they die, which Simon was made to oversee. So Simon spent a lovely time chatting with Jonah, who was the suspect, and basically talking to him while everyone else was in the sewers, dealing with Rotfiend, who was being such a gracious host and helping you like sort out the electrical system. You managed to find out like the underwater tunnels and like vault system to get to him and like his hidey hole, to which like you eventually like managed to crack your way in. You didn't like see any like weird creatures in the underground at any point, but once you got like to like the underground bunker, you started talking to Rotfiend. Rotfiend started to negotiate. He thought he had some cards on the table because he was like showing like, hey, Silas has broken the Masquerade. We have all this evidence. Like, look, he just killed a guy quite violently. And then while you were talking with that, you all started to hear ticking. And you were nicely introduced to the Baraka, which was like this little tiny locked up creature that just became this big hulking monster, which you all engaged with. Some of you grabbed onto the creature while it charged. Some shot at them. Someone took a nasty blow to the gut. But at the end of the day, you threw Rotfiend under the bus, and you all got the hell out of Dodge. Rotfiend was last witnessed in the jaws of the Baraka, who was kind of like ripping it around like a chew toy. And you just barely got out and locked it in. Whether or not that Baraka is still locked in there is to be determined. No one really went back to check. You fled. And
Oh no, I ain't fighting that thing.
yes, and again, like no one's payroll is to fight a Zamiti monstrosity.
Yep.
And you all got out. During that time, you managed again. You confirmed Jonah's the rat, so Jonah's gonna burn in the sun. Jonah tried to break out and attack Simon, but Simon, or more specifically, Alex, took over, got 2 juicy eyeballs out of Jonah, who was not being the smartest tool in the shed. Left, and then Jonah fried. And that is basically where people left off. So, the first order of business was Penelope.
Mm-hmm.
You were 1 aggravated damage away from death.
Yes.
So, from that, you basically, while you were back home in the church, you're very much like spending some time like recuperating. You called in your favor. So Josephine from Basalt came and started to like do some healing from you over the few days. More specifically, her goal was to get rid of all of your aggravated damage. So she would go in, stitch you up with her powers, and kind of like come out, chug some blood, go back in, heal you, feed you some blood. It was a procedure that took a few nights. And then, like, when it's all said and done, like, Josephine's, like, unties the back of her hair and then, like, puts a little, like, nun cap back on. And bids you adieu. She has other business to attend to. Yeah, you are currently due to that boon. So if you want to actually take the Baron's favor off of your thingy.
Yeah. Delete.
You no longer have a Baron's favor.
Yes.
But you are also on superficial damage, so fortunately now it's a case of spending hunger to heal that superficial damage. And making sure that you're not spending too much hunger. So that is something you could play fast and loose with now. But first things first, it's a fresh night for Penelope if you want to roll your first rouse check.
Yep.
Hey, you succeed. Nice. So that's your first rouse check. So that will be the only rouse check you make for like all the nights. So like you've been super focused, making sure that you're just healing. But so now, if you so choose, you can start making rouse checks to start mending yourself.
1.
Yep. 1 hunger. So that puts you on 2 hunger.
Yep.
And success. And then it's just a case of like, how much do you think you can tempt? Nope. Unless you're planning on going out hunting, which
I'm gonna stop here. I got 3 minor wounds. It's fine.
Yep.
So hopefully we don't do any fighting.
Yep. But like, you've kind of basically a lot of the wounds you sustained are all on the clothing. So they can be concealed with like makeup and also like how you're going to dress for the night. So you managed to do that. So you've not felt like the need of like you're not going out to hunt. You're not gonna like look for anyone sick or something like that.
No, not currently. Probably too busy getting ready.
Yep. Or perhaps you're still in a little bit of shock from all of like from the wound you sustained, and also the vicious creature that you know is still out there and most likely has a taste for your blood.
Yeah. Probably can't go back to those sewers.
Yep. Stay away from like the open grates of the sewer system or stuff like that. It's probably the advice for you.
Pennywise rules, got it.
Yep.
Okay.
So that leads us off with Penny. So you are 3 hunger. You are all the healing you need to do. You only have just like so little superficial damage. Not super much, not super little. But it's definitely something that like you don't have your gut wide open.
Yeah.
So you're fine in those regards.
Yeah.
So next up, Melissa. If Melissa would like to make her first rouse check.
Ooh, that's good.
So, 1 success because she's on 4 hunger, so you do need to feed.
Yes, I am going hunting.
Okay. So, what kind of hunting are you doing? What's the game plan?
I am a siren, so the usual game plan is to go around, look for some lonely people, invite them to the back of the party van, get a snack.
Feed.
Yeah, snack.
Just driving around the van that just says hot young singles in your area.
I mean, kinda, basically.
Again, so that is charisma subterfuge.
Would it not be charisma persuasion?
You're
Because I
lying
have a
to.
specialty.
You
I
are
mean,
technically lying to people. It can be both.
I do have a specialty in seduction, so.
Yep. It can either be persuasion or subterfuge. So yeah, I'll let you choose for this hunting method. Which your wiles take a lot of control. And you're very much in a case of, we haven't eaten good in a while, let's just indulge. So, you are... The beast is the one drinking at this moment in time. On the poor suspect you brought into the back of your van. He's going to take 2 hunger. And then the beast is going to try and take a little bit more. If you want to resist this, you will have to make a willpower check.
I am not sure if I can afford to dump a body, so.
Yep, I'll say that is a success. So you manage to gain control, riff off. You just, as soon as you pull your fangs away, the person you are now feeding on is unconscious. You're taking quite a lot from them, so they're going to be in like kind of a daze, but not in a catatonic state. You just hear your beast going, boo.
Oh, come on. We're good now. Anyway, I'm just gonna get this person's clothes back on and just dump them at a bus stop.
Boo.
Yes, we'll have a good meal later.
But yes, so you fed. You are now remaining on 2 hunger at this moment in time.
That should be good enough for the night.
Yep. In the overall order of business for Mel, you want to pay a visit to Greenhill?
Yes, did anyone want to join me for this, or is this gonna be a solo endeavor?
That is up to you or your coterie.
I might as well join. I basically have nothing else to do.
Yep.
I think Simon's a little occupied.
Alright.
Okay. So, as you go, this is Penelope's first time really at Greenhill. It is a very run-down community center in Greenhill. Going through you're going through broken doors and broken panels and boarded doors. The moment you go in, you immediately get the stench of sick and drug addicts. Or kind of
oh, it's the YMCA.
Yes, or kind of an early warning system of they'll see you going past and glossy eyes looking at you, mumbling stuff that's incoherent. But
Just ignore them.
As you're going through, and that, you start hearing tick, 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 tick. As you turn around and it's someone potting on a pan with a spoon.
Okay.
And then you're going around and as soon as you turn the corner, it's the usual sight you see, which is basically Bugsy, the Bruja, kind of guardian of Greenhill, who's kind of sat above, looking down with his hood up and a mask on. The mask that has the very distorted fang-like balaclava. But also, as you're turning this corner and seeing, you do see a familiar figure. You do see a familiar back. It does back. You are very intimate with Melissa. It is Craven's back. The very back you
Hey!
stabbed. Like, you just, like, as soon as you say that, like, Craven, like, turns around and is like, oh, you're here too. You have a message for them as well?
Yeah. It's good to see you, boy.
Ah, Blondie's here. Good to see you. Hope you're not here to deliver the same message Craven's delivering.
That depends. What message he delivering?
You looking for a +1 for the party?
Nah.
What? You already got a date? What, you taking Craven with you?
That is pretty tempting. But no, I'm just here to spread some gossip.
I'm not invited anyway. I'm already someone's +1. Anyway, Bugs. Deal still stands. Gives up, looks up and is like, but since I've done talking to you and you're not gonna let me talk to Balor, I'm heading off. Okay, Craven, watch your back. And Craven just saunters off. You hear the same tick, 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 and then a pan getting kicked. Right, anyway. Blondie and Bluey. What brings you over here? We weren't expecting you. None of the surveillance picked you up either.
Just here to spread a little bit of gossip.
Thought as much. Got the word that you guys were snooping around the sewers, though that's not my business. That's the sneaky kind of business.
Yeah.
What? If you're here to talk to Balor, don't worry, she's listening in. Points to like his ear, which is kind of like got a Bluetooth earpiece in.
Well, I have information about the sewers that are gonna be quite juicy.
We thought as much. We got the hint that the drainage flow got messed up.
Yeah, it was sort of part of that.
He takes a moment to pause. It's like, obviously, he's hearing Balor at the other end. And basically goes, so, did you break the system or did whatever else was down there break the system?
It was a bit of us breaking the system to get to Rot Fiend.
Which means you got to Rat Fiend. How was he, by the way?
Well,
horrid looking man.
Yeah.
So what? He dead or?
I mean, we're all dead technically, but...
Or asking, did you ice him? Did you dust him?
Yeah, it's kind of dusted.
Well, better you doing that than Clyde getting his hands on him. So, meet that whatever the fuck that thing is down in the sewers. Any ideas?
Oh God, yeah. Oh, we met the thing, all right.
I
did more than read it.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
All right. Head to the girls' bathroom, then the third stall. Go down the ladder. Balor will see you.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So you make your way down, like a little red door that leads into a women's bathroom. Very clean. But then you go to the correct stall and you see a dugout and a ladder going down. as you're going down, like you're going down to like an underground system. Lots of like different tunnels and like lights going down. As like you're going around and stuff, like you're eventually like you're hearing like screaming and like a rattling of bars. And then you're hearing like a kicking going, "Shut up, will you?"
Well then.
Hey, if it ain't Blondie. It's good to see you.
Howdy, howdy.
Alright, well, now that you're here, and we've got some privacy. So, what was the thing that you saw? What happened?
Okay, so we heard this ticking sound. Huh? And before, like, uh, usually I don't get this tongue-tied. Okay. Simple words. It looks like a rat. It seemed to be motion activated, and then it transformed into this big hulking monstrosity.
Probably something the Zemsks made.
Yeah, definitely gives vibes of their monstrosities.
Real big. Its tail hurt a lot.
I really didn't stick around to find out. I was out of there as soon as the thing transformed.
So what? They attack after you dealt with Rotfiend?
No, it activated because we used Rotfiend as sort of a distraction for it.
So it killed Rotfiend.
It was a weird three-way fight mess.
Yeah. I used a special flashlight on Rotfiend to hurt him a little bit. He moved. It transformed and charged him. Got one of us in the process. They grabbed onto it, and rode it. Stabbed me through the gut with its tail, and got on top of Rotfiend and started using him like a chew toy.
But you saw him die, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Rodfiend is 100% donezo.
She gives you like the look of like, he was my friend kind of look. But also there is a look of concern on Balor's face.
Yeah.
It's hard to quite describe because again, like with how her face is contorted, and like she has like one huge eye, it's kind of like contorts her face into like a half smile.
I just honestly just wanted to share this information with you.
No,
you know what you're dealing with in the sewers.
Good. We were mostly concerned that whatever that was, it was like Clyde's machination.
Oh no, I don't think Clyde has the ability to make something like that.
Yeah, but he hasn't any resources to buy something like that. Is probably what he was worried about.
I won't rule out that possibility because basically all it said was motion detected before it started killing anything, so who knows who's behind it.
But if it killed the Rotfiend, then I suppose that's actually a good thing. The difference between something else going after us and something like Clyde coming after us, Clyde doesn't want you dead. Clyde likes to take his time.
Yeah. This thing was programmed to kill. It didn't seem to have any sadism.
It seemed like it was too animalistic to be like actively malevolent.
Honestly, I was gonna say too robotic.
That too.
Let's be real. This thing acts like one of those NPCs in those games that just patrol, and if it spots you, you just die.
Did smell of gas. Like it had an engine.
Huh. Definitely gives Cybermen vibes. She goes and like leans her back to the wall. Well, I'll take your words at face value. Can't really send someone back into the sewers to investigate right away.
Yeah.
I don't think you need. I think you'd need to send like 10.
Or if you send someone to investigate, just give them the advice that it seems motion activated and hope they're good at holding still if they see it.
Or if they can go invisible.
That too, that worked for me.
You have to partition something.
Actually, didn't one of us snap photos of it?
Yes, I believe
What?
Mac took the photos.
Seta
Or Seth took the
or
photos.
Kit.
Kit took the photos.
It,
Yep,
and
so,
technically like, a few videos as well.
yep, so that most
Okay.
likely hasn't circulated. If anything, that's mostly like in Victor's hands now or in Basalt's hands.
Hmm.
So like, just kind of like Balor is sullen in expression.
Hmm.
Well, thanks for informing us. Gives us hands on what our numbers are like. Lost the
Yeah.
Rot Fiend. At least we gained Dono a while back, or Danny, whatever name she's choosing to stand by.
I'm just glad I was able to share information on whatever the fuck that thing was.
Yeah, for real. It's I owe you one for that.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
There's just like again the sullen look on her face and like the pausing. She's now very like contempt in thought. All right, if that was everything you were coming for, then I'm not gonna pay you or anything. You can just leave.
Yeah. You know how to contact me if you need me.
Yep.
Alright. And with that, Melissa's just gonna pat Penny on the shoulder like, let's get out of here.
Turn on her heels and start walking away.
Yep. Again, like she's just motionless by the wall as you start making your ways up. Bugsy hasn't moved. He still remains like sat upon his perch. He goes and sees you, like gives a little like tip of his flat cap. As you go away.
Melissa's just gonna wave. Yep.
And then we'll leave that for your scene. Okay, next up, Kit and Mac. If you would both like to roll your route checks.
Alright. That's this one.
Now my throat wants to slowly.
Great, cool.
Mac
Awesome.
fails.
Love that.
The blood rousing, but again, the beast is silent.
I had to figure out where the route check was.
And Kit succeeds. So, for both Kit and Mac, you're very. I would say you have like a choice in the matter, but it's very much like certain decisions have been made for you at this moment in time. You have moments of reprieves to maybe like go out and grab a bite to eat for yourselves, if that's what you so desire. But you're very much being coddled at the moment by your sire, Victor.
Well,
He's
Um,
so if you want to go out and like find something to eat, or try and like feed and hunt, like Victor won't stop you from nourishing your beast. But aside
Okay,
from
I
that,
mean-
I say kids at 1. He's good.
Yeah, Kit's at 1, so Kit's good. What about Mac? Mac's on 200.
Max on 2 and also needs to heal 2. So I guess I can browse check to heal the bit of damage that I have and then go hunt.
Okay.
Excuse me, sorry.
You're good.
Oh, that hurt.
Alright, so succeed.
Okay.
So 1 superficial damage gone.
And then the other one.
And then another
Oh,
success.
wow.
So yeah, there's still
Hey.
2 longer.
And then I'm still gonna go out anyways because Mac doesn't do being coddled. And if
Yep.
going out to eat is a good enough excuse, then yeah, sure, why not?
Yep. So again, your type of hunting style is alley cat.
Yep. So I just find somebody and mug them.
Yep. So this is obviously strength and brawl.
Yep.
If you're taking it by force, or like wits or streetwise, if you wanted to like find criminals and be a vigilante.
Nah.
Nah.
Oh.
Uh,
Well, still pretty good.
yeah. Three successes. You just barely succeed on your hunt. So, like you're going around, literally grab someone, bite, 1 slake of hunger, and then like you leave them like they're like kind of like what happened? Like where the fuck's my wallet? Like meanwhile you're walking away, you're counting money. So I'd say during this time while Mac's out feeding its Kit who's getting the lecture from Victor. It's very much like very much a you've been to these kinds of balls before, Kit, so it's nothing new for you, but I will give you a refresher since it has been so long since you have been in the company of other members of the Camarilla. So like you just have like there's Victor who's wearing his like white suit with his hat. It's kind of like this will be an important affair. While this is a congregation of Anarchs and Camarilla, you must think of this as a Camarilla Elysium. Meaning presence is key. Now, there will be members of the Camarilla there. There will be members of the Tremere Chantry there. They may look upon you and your sister as traitors. And you must present yourself accordingly to ease their suspicions, as we need not be so hasty. They may also subjugate you to scrutiny on your recent freedoms and your recent actions. But you must not let them get underneath your skin. We must show them that we are not ones to lose our composure. Especially for what works we have to come in, Kit. Like, Victor just looking at you, he's waiting for a response.
This whole time, because of how long Kit's hair is, she's just been getting it ready. So she's listening and just nodding along, well, trying to untangle most of it.
So like as all this is happening, like Mac comes in, like Victor goes, Mac, you're back. Try on one of these dresses, whichever one best suits you. I do not need to explain to you what I've already just explained to Kit.
Okay, fuck, what the fuck can I do? Fuck. I think Mac is fully like doesn't. Mac like looks at the dresses and then looks at herself, which is like a woman, like she is as I like built like a fridge.
Again, like
and so
there are mixes of
just like,
dresses and suits
okay.
for you, so don't worry.
Well, then yeah, I think Mac's probably gonna end up picking out a suit just because.
Yeah.
The alternative just seems kind of silly. And also, what if there's a fight?
This is an Elysium, Mac. There won't be no fights here. If anything, the
Well,
only
maybe
battles
there's
you
a
will be
fight outside.
the only
know,
battles
maybe
you'll be
in-
encountering here are merely battles of words.
Great. Well, maybe a battle of words will, escalate and have it outside of the Elysium duel or something. I don't know.
Let's try to avoid formal duels this night.
Of
Again,
course, yeah,
we
for
can't
sure.
guarantee that those things might not happen, as there are Anarchs there. We can't
Yeah,
agree with
I
all
mean,
of the parties.
those damn Anarchs, so, pivoting.
Yes, but also don't forget that some of the Camarilla there will see you spending a moment's time in Dublin as you turncoating to Anarchs. You gotta make sure that they're not too suspicious, especially with what possible work will be coming our way in Dublin. These will be very busy months for both
Sure.
you, your sister, and I.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes, but there will be many opportunities as well.
Love a good opportunity.
Yes. Right. Stop playing with your hair and get the dress. Pick a dress already.
I already have one. As Kit just sort of points to the one hanging over wherever she put it, so it's not hitting the floor.
Right. Good. Everything tonight will go just smoothly. I'm sure of it. As then move on to Simon. How's Simon
All right.
preparing?
Simon is post babysitting arc.
Yep.
Post Jonah babysitting arc. And is currently cleaning themselves up and putting the eyeballs in a jar to preserve them.
Yep. You know, like the eyeballs are like floating in a jar, like somewhere like secluded. Just like
Yeah.
has like a little like sticky note that says "fool" on it.
Yup. Simon's just checking off their little list of things that they need to acquire. And they're picking out their fit for the party and tuning their violin and all that fun stuff.
Yep. So what are we doing here? So what are we doing at this like gala or stuff? That's like mingling, feeding on blood sacrifices.
Well, it's probably mostly just talking. Would Simon have been to one of these before?
I mean, again, like you kind of like been an outsider. You've always been an anarch.
Mm-hmm.
So you've kind of been like outside of the grasps of like the other Hecata.
Yeah.
So in like terms of like Elysiums and stuff like that, like you've been to parties. You haven't been to like you haven't been to an Elysium or like a formal gathering of Camarilla. But also there will be anarchs there, and like you can't quite rule out like how the anarchs may behave.
Mm-hmm. It's a bit of a complicated thing. I've never been to one of these gatherings before. There could be representatives of the Hecata there, which is going to be interesting. I have not spoken to a Hecata in a long time.
And
I sort of deserted them a little bit.
The Hecata are use guys
My clan,
or just
technically.
it's just so is it like you and them, or is it like you and like one of the others and them?
No, it's just me.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm kind of doing things that I probably shouldn't be doing according to their rules. They like to run things by the book, you see, and I'm sort of a wild card, so
Fuck their rules.
yeah, I mean that's kind of how I feel, but it just could make this gathering a bit interesting is all.
So what, we're gonna use like special code word? Like kaka, and then I come out and like punch them in the throat?
I mean, I hope it doesn't come to that, but I suppose it's not, terrible idea to come up with a word.
Like what, like you're gonna take an extra violin string and like he like motions like garrot motion?
If you pull a string off my violin, I swear to God.
Just like, oh, the violin comrade.
I would be very unhappy. Look, I'll wear a tie or a bow or something if that makes you feel better.
Yeah. I'll tune out whatever the fuck happens there. Not like
Honestly?
Not like I can go and take over.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know. So the Hakata, if you think I'm spooky or weird, they're stranger than me, and they could very well be able to tell that you're hanging out. Yeah. I don't know.
See. I'm sure it will be fine.
Well, they can't. Well, they're not supposed. So my understanding is Elysium's a very political event. Violence is not unheard of, but extremely uncommon at these events.
Yep.
So I'm hoping if there is any sort of disagreement, it is just verbal.
Yep. So like some of the major rules of Elysium's is there's no violence. There's also no using of disciplines.
Makes sense. So they might not be happy with what I've done, but they can't really do much, so...
Yep, also for Simon, if Simon wants to do his first rouse check.
Do I?
Uh-oh.
Ooh, I'm hungry. Simon's
Maybe
getting
we go
nervous.
and grab something on the way out.
Might not be a bad idea.
I mean...
what's the situation at the morgue? Like, can Simon get any blood there, or does Simon have to go elsewhere?
I mean, there are a few like bodies in the morgue that you may not have like ringed out.
Mm-hmm.
Like kind of like dismembered an arm and like squeegeed it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll let you do a grave digger roll.
Sure, how am I doing that?
Right. So you are grave robber. So it is a resolve and medicine roll.
Okay, resolve in medicine. That makes sense.
If of like sifting the blood out of a dead body.
Ooh.
That's 3 successes, so that is... Oh no, that's 4 successes.
That is-
So that is a success. You probably wring out a blood bag, like you manage to like squeeze out the blood and like get a blood bag ready. That if you want to you can drink
right.
on the go.
I love my little Capri Suns. Alright, so that's 1 hunger, right?
Like while you're doing that, you're probably like having like John observing you over the shoulder. Of like,
Oops, I'm supposed to be at 2. There we go.
it's like this is how you get the blood out just right, and you just pop it into a blood bag. It's like you go and like you show it to John, so like John can do it in future. It's like if John's there when a body comes in fresh, he can just like get all the blood out super quick,
Super appreciated, John. Thank you so much.
and then like leave it to one side so it doesn't like get binned.
Awesome. Blood bag acquired.
Yep. So with all that under the way, is there anyone wanting to make special preparations before the night?
Other than getting back to my shelter and getting dressed? Nope.
So if you want to all describe how you are appearing and how you are going to be showing up. Like, are some of you going to be showing up together, or are some of you going to show up alone?
I'll probably show up with Melissa.
Mm-hmm. I'm willing to drive anyone that needs a ride.
I'll go with you.
And I imagine that Mac
Yeah,
and
Mac
Kit
and Kit will
probably
be-
Victor.
Yep, we'll have a limousine lined up.
Right?
Fancy.
Yeah, of course.
So the way it goes about is as you're all like getting there in your own way, like some of you may have to like look for parking. There's a lot of like crowd. There is like a crowd of humans like gathering and going in. There seems to be like two different sections of like entering. There is like this long red carpet kind of thing that leads into like the construction site area where like most of like the mortal partying seems to be, and like stuff like that. Like you're going like if you go through like the red carpet and like walking through and like mingling with people or like other people like queued up and like bouncers are inspecting them to go in, but you can like saunter onto the red carpet and like walk straight in. Like the outside party area seems to be like a like open air, like it looks like a construction site, but there's a lot of like safety measures in place. Like there's no like warrant construction equipment or like holes or anything. Although you're very suspicious of how many bodies you're walking over as like you walk over the concrete. But dead set in the center is like this like this long like concrete pillar, and then sitting atop of it is this something that like just got like a long like cloth over it. And that is
Likely
the
going-
yes.
Yep, just likely going to be a centerpiece.
Yes, very much a centerpiece. It is slapdash in the middle, and then like as you're looking around, it's like you can clearly see like where you can go and where like mortals or specific people aren't allowed. Like you like can look into like this like side building area that you can go into very easily. Like very select people are being allowed in, like very like rigorous background checks, like lots of people being turned away if they try. But yeah, you've got the outside where it's basically open air, lots of mortals. You don't see many kindred out in like this area. Most likely, like if you see a kindred out in this area, it's kind of them looking for someone to pick as a meal. Like maybe then bring them to the other area.
This is the buffet.
Yes. Of like the sense of that. But then like the other area, like as you enter the building area, it is long hallways of mirrors. You're meeting other kindred and walking along. Like some of these kindred don't actually cast reflections, but there seems to be like no concern over that. But it's also kind of a means of like so they can make sure like what clan they are. It's like you're being allowed in. You are not being like for your invitation, like say like for Mel and Penny and Simon, you're not being asked for your invitation because like you're very much aware like this is like assault security. As well as possibly someone like the Belfast security, definitely a collaboration. And like once like you approach like this main suite area, it's very much like a lot of like kindred are there. They're all talking, they're all mingling. There is like kindred playing on the piano in the corner. There are people being open, like there are mortals walking past people, offering their necks, sauntering around. Like there are some kind of like disputes of like, hey, I was here first, this is my neck. You can kind of tell who is a Camarilla, like who is part of the Belfast group, and like who is the Anarch. The Anarchs are like, they are like, some of them are kind of like dressed in suits, but then you also have Linda, who is like wearing like a very like black denim jacket over a dress shirt with a tie. Meanwhile, like, Craven is just wearing this, like, black tight t-shirt. But dress pants as well.
Not the t-shirt dress pant combo.
I was thinking more like the Coachella mesh black t-shirts that a lot of people wear at Coachella.
Nah.
Simon is cringing.
Craven's not
Melissa
slutty enough to pull that off.
Yeah. And then Melissa's actually just kind of admiring the outfits, like, hey, make it. Makes him stand out.
Hmm. But he's definitely, like, there as, like, Linda's +1. Like, so he's, like, over Linda's shoulder. Kind of, like about to, like, hit the enforcer that he is. But he's also kind of, like, he's looking at how some of, like, the other Anarchs behave. And, like, you'll see, like, a argument kind of beginning to ensue. But then Craven, like, shoots a look. And, like, immediately it kind of gets shut down. Not everyone is there yet. It's very much a lot of... It seems like a lot of, like, lower rung people are there at the moment. So, like, you don't see Basalt. You don't see Donald, the Prince of Belfast. You have not seen anything of Queen Anne or her child of Lady Scarlet Churchill. You've, like a brief glance for all of you. It's kind of like you're seeing, like, Craven and Linda is there. Like, some of the other kindred about the city are there. Like, from the Camarilla, you can't, like, kind of, like, guess, like, any of the Camarilla who are there. You can't, like, put names to faces. Rocco is also there. Kind of, like, just vibing. But he also seems to be very much on duty. He seems to have his complete gaze just locked with this kindred at the other end of the room. Like, literally, they are, like, looking like they're having a staring contest.
Do you recognize the kindred at all?
The kindred that look across the room that's looking at them, like, you don't know them per se.
Okay.
They are, like, this slender and short girl with, like, long flowing chestnut hair. She's wearing kind of like... She's also, like... She looks like a security detail. But she's wearing a similar jacket to what Rocco wears. Although Rocco, he wears, like, the cream long trench coat. This lady across the room seems to be just, like, dark trench coat.
Interesting. Hey, Rocco, how's it going?
Oh, hey, Simon, you showed up for the party as well.
Should it?
Alright, well, if you're needing a who's who, I can fill you in with some of the details.
That might be nice, actually, yeah.
Well, bitch over there who's been staring a hole in my chest, that is
Noticed that.
Lady Julietta Parr. She is a former sheriff of London. Think of her as the Bloodhound. She's a Malkavian like me. She's really good at sniffing out trouble. She has a nose for it even. Good at spotting traitors.
Ah.
She'll mostly just be staring daggers at me. Don't worry, it's old business.
I was gonna say, you have a history then.
Nothing per se. We both have a similar line of work.
Ah, competitors
Just-
then?
I have a bit more flair than her.
Ah.
As for the other guests, the Spaniard over there, he points at the guy who's like, he's like sauntering aside, like, you notice, like, as he's flinging his glass and, like, he's looking around, he's not casting a reflection. That's Jonas Cordoza. He's one of the refugees from London. I think he came here exclusively with Lady Anne. He's a bit of an arrogant sort. He'll most likely throw some brownie points your way if you refer to him as Captain.
Captain. All right.
If you want to spark a conversation with him, just don't mention Ventru and you'll be fine.
Don't mention Vendru. I think I can do that.
As for other guests who are a part of who came here from London, got ourselves Adesia. She was over there, was chatting her for a bit. She's also come from London. Came independently though. Apparently she managed to sneak through Dublin unannounced, which is interesting to say the least. She had a lot to say. Thinking of herself as freelance rather than Camarilla at this moment in time. Definitely had a lot to say about what was going down in London. Apparently, she was also there at the shard party that Queen Anne was previously at, when the Second Inquisition apparently hit it hard.
Oh.
And let's see, what does the crystal eye see? Oh. Got the swanky gentleman over there who's come all the way from New York. That's William Roberts. He's one of the Toreador's bankers from New York.
Is that that's not Silas's side, is it?
Oh, you hit the nail right on the head. Yes, he hasn't shut up about him since he's got here.
I got the vibe.
Yeah, well, talk to him about what good of a sire he is, and how he saved the young boy, and he'll probably just talk your ear off. Nothing serious. I think he's mostly just here to boast about his child's accomplishments, if to say the least.
Right.
Then lastly, he points over at, there's two kindred. There is one that is a woman standing quite tall, but then there is also another kindred who seems to be bound to a wheelchair. Oh, those are the Lucia siblings. Hakata. From the Hakata Belt Chantry in Belfast. Apparently, your word has already left Sylvia's lips once or twice already, from what my ears have been able to pick up. Mercurio's been mostly quiet.
Lovely.
And again, we haven't heard the main guests tonight. Probably still there prepping their speeches, to say the least. Not seen anything of Victor either, but I'm sure he'll be showing up soon. Which, Mac and Kit.
Key rock up.
Your limousine comes up to like the red carpet. Victor gets out and lets you both out as well. Kind of like motions for both of you to like stand at either side of him.
Okay.
Alright. Use this as an opportunity to stand tall and let your accomplishments do the talking.
Undo. Just like walking into a dining
Yes.
setup or something.
Well, if anyone does try and talk smack to you, let your accomplishments do the talking. You've probably done more for this town than anyone else.
Gonna try their best to avoid the other god of the entire party. They do not want to talk to them.
Oh no, the nun is going for arguments.
Oh, great.
Yep, so like,
Melissa is just planning on making her way around like a fucking conversational blunt.
Of course, of course.
you're just going around as like, so like Mark and Kid are like, you're walking alongside Victor like all the way down the red carpet. And then
Right.
once like you're at the bottom, like Victor says, I have business with Basalt, I'll be with you shortly. Go along, go mingle. before he leaves you and moves around his own locations. He does have a moment of like he just looks at the centerpiece that's still like covered and begins to like walk away to like be ushered away by assault security.
I mean, I guess we go in. No reason to like hang out out here.
The rest of the I can't pronounce the word because speech problems is here. I'm not gonna try.
Alright. So as you do go along and like you're walking through, you're walking past the same hallways, past the same mirrors. There are like a few glances in like both your direction, and I'm guessing Kit is wearing an eye patch.
Yeah.
Noted.
Very
I don't remember.
stylish, gold trimmed eye patch.
The rose on it or something.
It's probably the one that Sire gave her.
The Drakengard rose from.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like as you're going along and like you get to the main like the Kindred floor. So like you can all like gather around each other and also talk.
Cool. Yeah. I guess just sort of walk on in. Post up, looking menacing in a side area, maybe.
Go and find the corner of the brood.
Hell yeah.
Listen, if you gotta like look cool, right? And you gotta look kind of menacing.
Scary dog privilege in the corner.
Yep.
Back is the scary dog.
Or I guess going wherever Kit is going.
It's gonna find everyone else.
Yeah.
Or at least Simon, Melissa, and Penny. I'm not even thinking about.
Yeah. I guess it would now be the time to say what we're wearing.
Ooh, yeah.
And to get the image again, I cannot remember.
Mac, to be quick about it, Mac's just wearing black slacks, suit, dress shoes, probably like a dark red silk button-up, and then a black tie. You know, subtly vampiric.
Yep.
Definitely Tremere-y,
Yep.
at least, probably.
You're very much going for like
Like
the
a
dark
pin.
black colors.
Yeah.
What
And there's
about-
probably like a pin or something of the Tremere symbol.
What about Kit?
He's just got a black dress down to about the ankles with somewhat wedge-like black heels with, I want to say, sort of like an asymmetrical cape thing on the top, hair down, part of it up in a bun in the back, with the eye patch and earrings with the Tremere clan symbol.
Yeah.
Very simple, very just simple, I guess.
So yeah, so, like you're both wearing like very dark stuff, to, like contrast with like Victor wearing his white suit and a white hat.
I didn't realize that.
We're the minions, so
Mm-hmm.
we gotta be obviously contrasting.
I mean, you're more than minions to Victor. Your daughters, at least.
Yeah. That's it.
Simon's rocking that jacket I sent. I resent it. It's like a velvet black jacket with like a stand-up collar and then sort of an embroidery applique across one shoulder, and part of the chest is a bunch of zodiac symbology and like a sun. And then they're probably wearing a nice red, like a loose sort of ribbon style tie, as well as matching red pants. And I would say their hair is actually down for once, which they usually have it tied back. So their hair is loose for once. And they're wearing, instead of their usual glasses, they've got a pair of, I think they're called pince-nez glasses. They're like the small ones that just rest on the bridge of the nose with no legs or arms.
Yeah.
It might be pronounced pince-nez, but I don't.
Pince-nez might be right. It's French. I don't know.
Yeah, it's French. I don't remember exactly. Don't.
Simon would know what they're called. I kind of know what they're called.
Yeah, the nose bridge glasses, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about Penny? What's Penny wearing?
Penny is in a ankle-length, cream-colored dress, with some like nice silver accents along the edges. Obviously wearing all of her religious symbology, like her necklace and stuff, but it's just very. It's very simple dress. Nothing over the top.
And then Mel?
Melissa is wearing a simple, over a singular shoulder, pure burgundy dress with some black lipstick and a simple necklace with a silver moon pendant hanging from it.
Yep. So, it's a very much a case of a lot of people at this party wearing this very similar stuff, very similar fashion stuff. Everyone's going very much the gothic route. Not a single tie-dye t-shirt to be seen. Aside from Rocco, who's still actually he's not dressed at all. He's wearing his very beige trench coat.
It's gonna be one gangrel in hippie wear.
Yeah. And it's definitely gonna be a case of spot the gangrel when you're going around mingling.
I'm surprised that there hasn't been any mention of an Anarch that is punking it up. Considering we are, there might be some UK folks over here.
And everyone's being very cordial. They're kind of the idea of they know that hey, if we it's kind of if you overstep and you ruin this for Donald, the Prince of Belfast, or Queen Anne, they'll probably kill you if you're Camarilla. But then there's the Anarch situation of hey, if you fuck this up and you cause a scene, then we're probably gonna fuck you up after.
Yeah, we're gonna be the ones that are gonna have to kill you afterwards.
Yes, it's very much we'll talk next, and then once we're talking Camarillas are talking to Camarillas and Anarchs are talking to Anarchs, that's when tones might change. But at the moment, it's very much
That's when the shit talking's gonna happen.
It's very much a kind of everyone is more listening to what the people from London are having to say. So as you're going around, you're hearing and you're probably joining conversations of how Jonas is going on about how he was there when the Shard got attacked by the Second Inquisition, and how he valiantly fought his way out.
Of course.
It's
Gotta share some more stories.
There I was, attacking from choppers, bashing through the windows, shooting from all barrels. I grabbed my saber and thrusted it into one of them, before being swiftly, evasively falling out of the window of the Shard. Well,
I was evasively defenestrated.
It was an excellent parry.
Unprepared.
I deflected the bullets from the carbine rifles, and then they fell out of the Shard. I am lucky to be alive, as many a kindred lost their life in that attack. It is fortunate enough that such allies, such as Edisia and Queen Anne, escaped. It's one of them goes yeah, you were certainly quick to leave the scene as all shit hit the fan, weren't you? Well, it's not my fault that I, such as a ensemble of myself, can not be perceived so easily. Unlike a flashy Banu Hakim such as yourself. Yeah, you're damn right about that. I'm just got lucky I got buried alive in the rubble of the grenades that got thrown. Had to wait a day until after. None of them looked to think that there was anyone hiding under the debris for that whole day. But still, you got out kind of easily if you just got flung out the window in the middle of the night. Guess you glided and flew to safety. Queen Anne was pretty quick to eject herself from the scene, although she had that group of newcomers she wanted to talk to. So I'm guessing she must have had business to attend to. And when shit hit the fan, she just had an easy escape. Ah, yes, it is fortunate that our prince survived. At least it leads that there can be a chance at some stability. Yeah. Stability. What, does anyone else have anything to add or any questions?
Not really.
Melissa's probably going to break away from the group and just go chat with Linda and Craven.
Mm-hmm.
Just walk over like, it's good to see you two, and I must say I admire the outfits.
Yeah, thanks. We're trying our best not to show up the Camarilla.
Yeah, in my opinion, yeah, you stand out quite well. Everyone here is so fancy, it's to see a leather jacket or something. Almost makes me wish I brought one.
Yeah, well, we have standards to meet at least. Let Basalt and all the other Anarchs try and like cozy up and prissy about.
Fair enough.
Anyway, I'm just here to serve as like a witness and such.
Truth be told, I'm just here for conversation. Meet all the interesting folks.
Oh well, go mingle, go yap away. There's definitely kindred who will talk your ear off. Everyone's
course,
still
just
kind of waiting away for the leaders to come out and give their speeches.
Of course, I just had to catch up with some friends is all.
I'd probably pay attention to whatever Queen Anne has to say at least. She's most likely going to try and muster some kind of gauging of allegiances. Still, none of our business, not our turf, not our war.
Duly noted. And thank you for the advice.
Yeah, don't worry. Speaking of, well, not so much advice, more of situations. Seems we're a rat down, at least.
Indeed.
But still, we've not quite figured out the situation around. She goes and points at the eye.
Yes, that is concerning.
Had to leave Crow out of commission for a while. He's kind of been on. We've had to keep him on house arrest to make sure that we don't hit and keep him out of the loop, just in case any information gets leaked.
Unfortunately understandable.
So she peeks over and looks at Kid. You guys are not seeming so worried about that.
Vic, we're under the assumption that as long as she keeps the eye patch on, the other side can't, lip read or something.
Well, we've learned that it's more than just eyes that can go. Ears and tongues can also be taken.
That is worrying information. I will bring this back to my friends.
Yeah, you do that.
And Melissa's just gonna give Linda a bow before making her way back over to the group.
Yeah, like just before you go, like you can kind of experience like Craven like goes down and like goes, is it wise to actually give her that information? And Linda like kind of shrugs it off.
Um, hmm. So yeah, Melissa will regroup with the rest of them and probably tap Kit on the shoulder like, hey, I need to talk with you later.
Kit will just nod. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's sort of like you hearing like the minglings of like the survivors from there. Like a lot of the situations with like Anarchs are kind of like the Anarchs are like they're talking and like trying to like listen into the stories and like they go a little bit of like, why did you leave London? If that had happened to like Dublin, we would have done things differently. And like again, like some of the Camarilla are kind of the same as like, see, this is exactly why we need to have everyone under the Camarilla umbrella. Before someone like goes in checks, like, wasn't London under the Camarilla umbrella anyway, and look what happened to it. Yes, but
Fair.
we need to uphold the traditions even more. I mean, like, look at what you have done. I'm sure the survivors coming to Dublin from London had a lovely time being picked off and slaughtered by you Diablerists. Think of how many lives could have been saved if Camarilla was still in control of Dublin. And they didn't leave messy barons going around making their own rules. We vampires should be looking out for each other. Especially in these trying times.
Melissa's just gonna keep her mouth shut.
Yeah, Simon's not looking to stir the pot too much as they would like to contribute to these conversations.
Yeah.
Is it a situation of you
Melissa-
having to force yourself not to speak, or?
I think to a certain extent, like depending on how like how harsh they get with shit, but like Simon went into this expecting this sort of, friction.
So did Melissa, but she also has to hold herself back from making any snarky retorts.
There's very slight giggles and snickers every time someone says like, "Hey, we should all be under Camarilla control," because of what happened in London.
But again, there are also like a lot of things you get to the idea of was like damn, like, shit in London got really bad. We have no idea like how many people actually survived. Like we heard Roger de Camden managed to get some people ushered away into Edinburgh real quick. But like aside from that, like the Queen didn't really bring anyone along with her. Like everyone who managed to get back to Belfast just saw the Queen there. And then like, what happened to the Queen's sire? Like we haven't heard anything back from him.
So is Roger de Camden in Edinburgh then?
Yeah, it seems like it. He is the Prince of Edinburgh at this moment.
Makes sense. Interesting.
Hearing that he's mustering quite a lot of power from there now. Apparently he's got some former Sabbats in there under him now as well. Don't know how he managed to. Don't know how he's managed to kind of like usher those guys in under him. But I'm guessing shit hit the fan real hard in London.
I must admit, that is slightly worrying, if what I hear about the Sabbat is true.
Yeah. Especially since the guy who... Apparently the Sabbat guy who brought with him back to Edinburgh, Monty. You know,
Monty?
the Monty who's said to have diablerized the sun god.
Oh.
Yeah, that guy, Monty Coven. Heard he was in London, but then no idea then. Like, he showed up once or twice, but aside from that, like, ever since we heard what went down, like, everyone's been staying clear of him. Guy's bad news. If he's riding along with Roger now, who knows?
Note to self, avoid Monty if I can then.
Yeah.
How hard is it to get a hold of Roger in terms of communication?
Well, he is the Prince of Edinburgh now, so I'm guessing, like, going to Edinburgh there, you're gonna have to meet him eventually to let him know you're there. Just not let him drag you into that cult of his.
Haha. Noted.
But yeah, he's probably got something planned. Don't know what happened to all of the rest of the bigwigs in London either. I'm sure Arwen is still there.
And I wouldn't expect the best, considering what I've heard of the situation over there.
Yeah. It all happened fast as fuck. Don't know how they got, like, the information of all of our hideouts. But they hit every location hard.
That is worrying to think that they had access to such information.
You think they had a rat then?
Does make me
The
think that
Inquisition
maybe
working with a vampire? That is,
it might happen. Who knows?
Most likely must have been a power play. You heard
Right.
and like one of them goes and like, yeah, heard a lot of like different ideas about this. Some were saying it was all part of the Queen's power play. She wanted her sire out of the picture and wanted to create a scene that might have led to his assassination.
That is a very interesting theory.
But then, like, you can't be like someone like you cannot be making such accusations against Anna like that. She was attacked too. She barely got out of there with her life. Yeah, because like we can't take a bullet, right? His mind is like all the other shit we've been hearing. Like we heard that like there was like some group of kindred there were like in service to Mithras, but like he's been dead for years now. He can't be back, like not unless like Monty's using his name.
It could be possible to be using that name as an alias.
No one's dumb enough to use the word of Mithras in vain, especially around Roger de Camden.
I don't think we have enough information to make any solid accusations at this point.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, gotta be careful with like this shit. Like, if the rat also got out of London, then who knows if the cats are gonna be coming after them.
Yeah.
Like,
I honestly would hate to run into that Inquisition.
Yeah, let's hope that they stay in London and they stay out of Ireland territory. Like, they do still have they might still have like some kind of jurisdiction in the north, but at least like Ireland's kind of safe. At least I hope so. Like, I care about my survival and all, but it'd be fucked if I ended up bringing trouble over here. Especially now that like options of getting out of this island are gonna be kind of limited.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Drag them to France? Move them to America? They've probably got their own shit they're dealing with.
America's
Actually,
okay.
Incinda.
Yep.
Given that I was from America, would I actually have information to respond to that with?
Feel free to, let's see, what kind of check do we want to roll? And it would also depend on whether or not you're still in contact with, like, you still have like contacts in America?
I mean, she has. Probably not. She has contacts, just probably not vampire contacts. Probably her family, but.
Then, if you have like
probably-
family contacts in America, then no. If you had kindred contacts in America, then yes, I would make you do a like wits streetwise check.
She could still say what it was when she left America.
When you left America, it probably been like very calm. Like there have been like events that have happened like in recent years, but like outside of that, it's nothing like super major.
Yeah. So Melissa's just gonna speak up. Well, it's been a while since I was to America, but I was born and raised there, so when I left, it was relatively calm.
Yeah. Like in most cases, the events of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines would have happened. So like all the shit that went down in LA. So like all the shit that went down in LA would have happened. Like there's all that stuff that's happened. So like LaCroix would have been killed, and like either a new prince would have taken over Los Angeles, or like barony, or like Anarch would have taken over. It's kind of like an undiscerned powder keg. Because again, like before, like early 2000s, like late 2000s, is like when the Anarchs finally got control of Dublin. So there's like that kind of circumstances and stuff. Like the most major event that's probably happened in recent years would have been the attack on London. Like that's like probably like the biggest attack on like Kindred as a whole since Vienna.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Like on such a large scale. So yeah, you get like a lot of the talks. There's a lot of concern. There's a lot of suspicion. There's also like a lot of like a case of like Anarchs are listening intently to what's been going on, and they're like, the Anarchs are more talking around the shit that's been going around in Dublin recently. It's like they're going on about like, dude, did you hear like apparently like Benny was some kind of Sabbat traitor? Yeah. Like you've heard about it, right? Like she's kind of like some kind of like statue in like the Basalt, one of Basalt's estates, right? Yeah, like apparently like she's done the same thing to Jonah too. What? Jonah? No fucking way. He ain't no rat. Yeah, and it's like, you know, like there was all that fucking hubbub about finding like Rotfiend and shit. Yeah, Rotfiend really fucking screwed the pooch there. Apparently he was calling around asking for favors, and no one's gonna be fucking going down to that hot water. Hey, I don't know. He might have led to some sort of situation, you know, sell his ass to Clyde. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Shame I didn't get the call though. It's always nice to have a favor from Clyde.
Oh.
Oh, that better
Who's
than
saying
being
this?
his enemy. It's like you can eavesdrop on this.
Yeah, definitely. I'm interested in knowing who's saying this. Maybe mentally, you know, sort of.
It's very much like
keeping
it's
an eye.
definitely Anarchs talking about this.
Oh.
Like Anarchs are like discussing this because like they're more
Yeah.
concerned about the situation in Dublin rather than like the situations elsewhere. Like you get like some inklings of like, hey, like I heard like some Banu Hakim from the Camarilla tried to put a hit out on Linda, you know, firebombed her at some kind of like some dude's house.
It's honestly really funny to me that like everyone's talking around us, but nobody's talking to us.
You know, like, and talking about shit like, oh yeah, this happened and this happened. It's like, oh, that was us.
Again, if you want, you could just like mosey on in, line up cigar. No shit, I was there. Like, you know, get some clout. Like, fucking build up your rep. Go, I was the one who like curb stomped Rotfiend in the sewers or some shit.
Just lie about it.
Like, build some reputation. Like try and like use this as an opportunity of like building a name for yourself. Like you've got
Yeah.
You know what? I think Melissa will do that. She's gonna walk over and go,
Frisbee.
"Oh, I couldn't help but
Frisbee.
overhear the gossip about current or recent events."
oh well if it isn't the white transit lady.
Ah, so I see I am heard of. Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah. So what you got to say about all these recent events?
Well, I was actually there for quite a few of them.
Oh yeah, like I forgot you're in Basalt's pocket, right? You probably know what this whole party stuff's all about.
Well, I can say I was there for the Banu Hakim attack on the apartment.
Oh no shit. So what? They were really Camarilla?
I can't say that for certain.
Well-
Rumor has it that they were working with someone from out of town.
So what? The London refugees attacking him, trying to like reclaim some territory?
Out of character question. Where was Blood Axe located roughly again?
Um,
Uh,
this whole
House of something or other?
yeah, definitely like out of town. I'll probably have to give me a second.
in my notes somewhere.
It's not in my notes. I have to Google Earth this shit.
Kildare?
Yes,
Kildare Village, yeah.
Kildare Village.
Rumor says they were actually working with someone from Kildare Village.
Oh no shit. That shit's not that deep, not that far from Dublin actually. Definitely not well with turf, but still. No, well, good thing I'm staying a fuck away from there.
No shit. I will say one thing though. During that hit, I actually managed to grab something.
Oh shit, what'd you get?
I am now a proud owner of a sword.
Ah, what? One of those fancy curved swords?
Yup, I got stabbed with it and I kept it.
Huh. So while you're saying that and like you're talking about how you took down the Banu Hakim, one of the kindred comes and approaches you. The one who like was mentioned like Simon as like Adesia. She goes and looks at you and says, "There's this sword you got from the Banu Hakim attack. Did it have any engravings on it?"
Shit. Did it?
Let's see, you've not held that sword for a while, so you'll have to like. Depends on how intimate you've been with the sword to notice tiny details.
She's probably pulled it out and looked at it a few times like, yeah, I earned this. This is a cool fuck-ass sword.
Hell yeah.
So like you hear you see the sound of the wind, and it does like have like it has some inscriptions, but it's inscriptions in a language you have no understanding of. It's definitely like written in Arabic. It's like you can understand that, but you don't know Arabic.
Yeah. It was something in Arabic. I couldn't read it.
It's probably nothing. Like if you could get back in touch with me and like show me the sword at some point, I could probably discern what sect of the Banu Hakim clan it was from.
Oh, I actually would be rather interested in that. Would you like to exchange contact information?
Yeah, sure. And, like you exchange contact info with Odessa.
Networking achieved.
Yep, so this is Adisa is how you spell her name.
Let's see. Where is my note sheet? I think I have it. Here we go. Got ADISA?
Yep. So like you're going around like you exchange some kind of like information with her and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Instead of like it's like you're just talking about like, so hey, like you took out some Banner Kim, like good for you, good for you. Like over Banner Kim like pulling on their collar. But yeah, you do get some rep points for that. Like during all like of this time, I was like, so we thought you were there as well. By the way that guy was talking, it seemed like Silas was there all on her own.
Nah, Silas definitely had some backup.
Alright, so things move along. And like again, like it's a lot of like talking, there's a lot of rumbling. Eventually the hosts of the party do come down. There seems to like be brief moments where like they go down together. You see that Victor is very much down behind Damien Basalt. As they leave, Victor quickly moves away, and he's moving in a way that's kind of like towards Mac and Kit.
Right?
And then there's a brief moment of like Queen Anne is about to like, she goes and like taps the glass with her fork, and like she's about to speak, but then immediately this balding gentleman next to her begins like, if I may have your attention to please. Anne of London wishes to make an announcement and speech to help all of us come to terms with what's happened in London. We have all, I'm sure Queen Anne has lost many things due to the attacks and events in London. And like, it's very much like a speech just kind of like to, one, he definitely did it in a way of, he beat Queen Anne to the punch.
Nah.
So he had the first word. Which you can try and roll a check to see engage like how that Anne's taking that.
Sure,
Sure,
why
why
not?
not?
What would that be?
It would definitely be more like a wit etiquette.
Alright, let's do it. I got some etiquette.
Actually, I think I could. I can kind of make do that.
Thank you.
I did not roll well.
Oh.
That's fair. Simon's not familiar with these people.
Wow!
Holy shit!
Yowzers.
Getting back on the ball.
Yeah, so like Kit and Mac is like, oh, it's like, it's one of those things that's like, you know, if like someone like cuts in front of you in like the queue of like Starbucks, like
Yeah.
they bump past you and they like shout their order super loud, so the barrister thinks it's actually from you. Like you're about to give your order and then someone talks over you, so they end up taking that person behind you's order rather than yours.
Oof.
Queen Anne looks like that's just happened to her, which, coming from the fact that Donald O'Connor, the Prince of Belfast, is a brewer, and Queen Anne is a venturer, not going the most likely. Like, we'd say like the bestial failure from Melissa is kind of like a, holy shit, that guy did something ballsy, we need to do something else just as ballsy.
No.
Resist the urge.
But I will
We do
say,
not have balls. We do not need to be ballsy.
I will say, for now, you are under that compulsion.
Oh dear.
So you will need to try and contain yourself from times. But any checks you make that are not against that will have a minus modifier.
Oof.
So anything you trying to not act dangerously will have to have like a -2 modifier. So keep that in mind. You are inspired by the Bruja Prince of Belfast. Like you want to like one up him. So like the beast inside of you is like racing of like all the things you could do. So like you could call the Queen a traitor to her face. I don't know. What if like when she's making a speech we just let out a huge belch?
You.
Oh my god, no, just memories.
Hi there. Would you like to cause a diplomatic incident? Do it right now.
It could be
Spit
like
in your face.
and I burped really loud in the friggin' dorm or the dining hall, and everyone went silent, and it looked so embarrassed.
Oof.
But yeah, so then like as soon as like he's done that and his hands like the floor back to the Queen Anne, she shrugs it off, she walks forward, and like she does kind of like have this aura around her as like, yes, it is a tragedy of what happened in London, but we are all here alive today. We are survivors, and survivors have to be strong, but we cannot forgive what happened in London. It is very clear that someone sold that information to the Second Inquisition, and we must root them out, especially before we do any such actions such as retaking London for vampire kind. Our fellow kindred must be avenged. Not only that, we must make sure to ensure that the survivors of London who are down there in hiding do not feel abandoned, and that they see that there is a united front in reclaiming lost land. That is why I, Queen Anne, Prince of London, will be accepting volunteers in attempts of reclaiming London, or even going so far as to do some form of reconnaissance.
Imagine that causes some whispers in the crowd, some muttering.
Yep. I do not know to do this out of the kindness out of my own heart, but out of my duty as Prince of London. As to manage the holdings, I can bequeath upon anyone who comes there territory and titles.
That's gonna make the.
I am not asking you for charity. I am not asking you for charity. I am asking you to crusade.
Meanwhile, Simon's booking tickets to Edinburgh.
Meanwhile, like everyone just like kind of like applaud. Like the Camarilla are definitely like partially applauding Anne. Anarchs don't seem kind of like impressed. Although,
Melissa finds her choice of word rather funny.
yeah, like some of the Anarchs do kind of whisper among themselves as like, hey, like if London's like there for the taking, why not try and take it back? Like imagine like Anarchs take London. London is Anarch turf.
Oh.
So like
Not gonna be that
meanwhile,
easy.
yep, yeah, like it's never that easy. Meanwhile, like then Donald like he goes like, yes, a marvelous speech, but we cannot also send people out willy-nilly, especially something so recently. We need to buy time, do reconnaissance, work together. Which then I believe I will bring the floor to Baron Basalt. The Basalt, he can kind of like, he marches forward. This is like probably the first time you've seen him in like a wide open space without the comfort of his head.
Yeah.
Like Rosanna is nowhere to be seen.
Huh.
He literally kind of like looks lonely without her. But as he goes along, he starts like delivering his own speech. He's not so much talking about like retaking London and like the loss. He's talking more about like securing the safety of like the cities. But he's also speaking of like both Belfast and Dublin. And that's when he unveils it. So like he clicks all the monitors so all the monitors come on. And there is like a mortal out in like the open air area. Also giving a speech about like how Basalt Industries has like these new contracts, has these new development plans, has now so many building projects in Dublin and in Belfast that they feel they need to like add their own spin to it, like add their own architecture, add a bit of a gothic feel to all of it. And that's when he unveils basically he pulls down like the cloak and the curtain to unveil that stood atop this like stone pillar is a gargoyle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
And
I knew it.
he goes about like saying like these gargoyles are going to be the new image of Basalt Industries.
Simon's just sort of smiling to themselves.
Each one will be unique. Each one will stand out on its own. Each gargoyle will have a life of their own.
Yeah.
You don't say.
We are
Simon looks
even
completely unsurprised by
Yep.
this.
We are even going so far as to prep social media campaigns. We feel like having such architecture have a personality of their own. Meanwhile, every kindred who's like looking at this TV and like looking at this speech kind of like has an idea of what the fuck's going on. And like Basalt makes a statement and like goes and says, yes, so Donald have I have made agreements and arrangements to ensure that any gargoyle that has fled the safety of London can safely go to Dublin or Belfast without fear of persecution from the Tremere. We have entered a specific pact with the clan of the Gargoyle. Arrangements are put in place to ensure their protection and their protection of us. Any Basalt Industries building will be under the protection of these gargoyles. In doing this, I am also going to announce that the compact of only one Baron will be lifted. As you all know, Barons are not princes. We do not hold all cities as our domain, as Donald does with Belfast. We work better as a republic of sorts, which is why any territory holder in good standing can request to be named a Baron by me.
Huh.
Which is by my first duty that I return the title of Baron over back to you, Linda. Congratulations, Linda. You are now the Baron again of the inner central Dublin. To which Linda kind of goes and gives like a nice little like wave, like more of like putting on a show. and then you hear like this large drumming growl in like the corner somewhere. Goes, what? So does that mean I'm gonna become the Baron of Phoenix? It's kind of like drummed out from all like the applause and the talking and the chatter, but the voice does kind of ring. It almost appears like it's directly behind you, Penny.
Who's saying this?
You don't know where specifically
Lord
it came from, but it
Phoenix.
came from.
Baron of Phoenix?
Yes. More
Which is
specifically,
where?
more
Phoenix
specifically,
Park.
yep, Phoenix Park. So on the map,
Um,
all like this area here is referred to as Phoenix Park.
Yeah,
Right.
Gangrel Land.
Yep, Gangrel Land.
I imagine
Gotcha.
Melissa is also part of the crowd that's applauding.
To which
Um,
it's now begun to notice that there are actually gangrels at the gargoyles at the party
Oh,
Ah.
in suits,
good for them.
and like they have like phased through walls. They kind of like give the image of like Men in Black, like dark
Okay.
shades,
Is there
black
one that's
suits.
with the Baron? Like, do we see Roseanne?
No, you do not see Roseanne.
Fine.
aw.
Interesting.
But you do hear behind you, Mac, and you, Kit, Victor saying, and this is where our new line of work begins.
Ah,
Already.
Yes. We, and by that I mean myself and most likely Kit, have been charged with a difficult and trying task of repairing the gargoyle Rosanna.
Simon
Okay.
clears their throat a little bit. I did the best I could translating the ritual for you.
Oh, and think nothing of it, Simon. You did an excellent job translating the ritual.
Oh, thank you.
It is now up to those who are versed in blood sorcery to carry on and ensure the words you have translated are functional. And to ensure that over Tremere, who will see this ritual not be successful, that we bury our knuckles down on them. And that's when he looks at you, Mac.
Mac cracks her knuckles. Yeah.
So, what do you think, my young Katrina? You will be one of the first Tremere in many years to successfully perform a ritual that has been outlawed for centuries.
Excited.
Still, I believe you are needing to polish up on your blood sorcery. We will have plenty of time working on that as we do some familial bonding.
Understood.
So like once all that's done is like it's a lot of like shit. So like we have gargoyles now. There you do see like there's the gargoyle who's like out stood on the perch. That you're now knowing is just being incredibly still. But then there's other gargoyles now like they are like hulking figures, like a very like Nosferatu-esque features. But like they're wearing suits, they look the part. Some of them do have wings, and like they're now like they're trudging along like the party, like they're now like very much like trying to like kind of mingle, but they like have this like clay golden Terminator speech to them.
Oh.
Melissa's gonna try and mingle with them as well.
So it's very much like a how do you do, very fellow Anarchs.
Love them. Love them.
This is good. This is hopefully a good thing. Hopefully this doesn't come back to
Hopefully.
bite us in the ass.
Yeah, I mean, Simon is surprised by this, but also not surprised by this.
Oh no, this is very on brand.
Like,
Yeah.
Do not worry. We have been authorized to only protect basalt assets at this moment in time. That is until we are able to purchase our own territory. Like,
To be frank, I had a feeling about this as soon as the book came into hand, and it was
Yeah.
as soon as anything about gargoyles came up, and the statue went.
Yep.
He was like,
I mean,
just myself till
Yep.
something actually needs to be said.
I didn't imagine a full thing.
if one or two of them want to perch at the church, that's always open.
Oh, the morgue? I wouldn't say no to gargoyle there either.
Yeah, dude, like,
Our security services can be hired once you negotiate dealings and price with Baron Basalt. He is our current employer at this moment in time, until our contracts
Okay,
are
so-
bought out.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
did the gargoyles have like? Sorry, do the gargoyles have like a leader among them?
They seem to be all acting quite independently. None of them seem to have a leader per se. They don't have a baron per se.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Most likely like a council. They vote on everything.
Melissa's just gonna shake a few hands, like, well, if you kind fellas need anything delivered, I will be your girl.
Oh no, we heard you have a white Ford Transit. They're very good for transporting us.
Oh,
We trust that only our lighter kindred will require such transportation. Others can get by flight.
Fair enough.
the legendary white Ford Transit.
I imagine half.
It's like-
Vampires are gonna end up putting like enough like history into this Ford Transit that's gonna like come alive.
It's fun,
Yeah.
like,
It's gonna
Vampire.
That's what the license plate says, right? Right?
No, the license plate is probably an innuendo.
Oh man.
I mean, you know, it because if it does come alive, that's a white animal. I don't think you can drive
Oh
it
no!
anymore.
Oh no, you're right, my folklore is paid!
Would it though?
I need to beg Baron Brasalt to get it changed to green immediately.
I mean, could a spirit possess the van? Because I mean, it possessed a pen. I wouldn't see why they couldn't.
Probably.
it's like, what, you're gonna go grab that fucking container that Silas has, like pour it into like the gasoline tank.
Yeah, pour it into the gas.
The
Oh, yeah.
container that wasn't a container.
Yep, the
Right.
oil change.
Or you
Pour
can do
the
what-
miasma into the oil tank.
So that's what blinker fluid is.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's headlight fluid?
You can do what the security guard at my apartment building did: spray paint his car to change the color.
Fascinating.
So yep.
Yeah,
so-
no, I will have to ask Baron Brasalt to change it to green.
If
Every-
it comes alive.
Every time your Ford
If it
Transit
comes
has
alive.
has been green, it has entered some form of accident.
Okay,
Green
fine.
is a
Maybe
cursed color.
green is not my lucky color.
Maybe
But
red,
if it
so
comes-
then you can like brush off some of like the
Go
dents you have.
faster.
Ooh,
Plus, you know, I mean, if
red
any
makes
blood
me
gets on it.
faster.
Yeah, it makes you go faster. But you gotta get the go fast stripe as well.
And what? You
I
turn,
do
go turn it
yeah.
yellow.
Fucking Lightning McQueen colors.
No, kerchoo.
No,
Go turn it yellow
If
so
I
it
get a-
explodes better.
no, I need it. It's kind of my livelihood.
It literally is a business expense for you.
True.
So like now there are like vampires there mingling. Like a lot of people like are very concerned with like Masquerade breach, but also like if they gargoyles don't need to like stand on perches, they can phase through walls.
Yeah.
So like if they like design like perfectly concrete buildings, which is what most likely the basalt project will be. They could probably like just phase through buildings. To be honest, they could probably like use the gargoyle. You could probably like tell the gargoyles go on the ground, go deal with the Zamitzi monstrosity.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, you just have to
Yeah.
repair them if they get hurt.
Yeah, I gotta figure that out.
Finding a gargoyle on the Paris catacombs would be horrifying.
But again, it's like a case of
Yeah,
like
it goes
now
to the wall.
you also now have means of like repairing them if they break,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm,
as long as like
yeah,
the
yeah.
core's not destroyed.
Yeah.
I'm ending army, but not in the vampire way, in the gargoyle way.
Yep. And like so long as like
The
you're
robot,
only
the stone
repairing
robot.
gargoyles, so long as like you're not creating gargoyles, because you know that takes 3 kindred to be killed,
Oof.
Ugh.
or technically 2 kindred, because gargoyles are a mix of basically, depending on like the type of gargoyle you're making, you kind of like mix and match Gangrel, Zamitzi, and Nosferatu. So like if you want a gargoyle that can fly or serve as a scout, it's kind of like a Nosferatu Zamitzi. If you want like a strong sentinel gargoyle, it's like Zamitzi and Gangrel and stuff like that. But again, like
It's like build a bear, build
Yeah.
a gargoyle.
yeah,
Build a
build a
gargoyle.
gargoyle by basically mincing and mashing 2 kindred until it's just their eyeballs, and then you pour it into a flesh sack and then birth a
Yeah.
gargoyle. Although, however, there are changes in the law that are saying like gargoyles can turn people. It's very like vague. I'm not sure how to like wishy-washy with that.
Interesting.
Like again, to be honest, like there's no law thing of like creating repairing a gargoyle. It's something I'm fiddling around with. But yeah, you have that. That law thing has been dropped. That is obviously what Victor is going to be working on,
Nice. Cool.
and possibly Kit if Kit upgrades her blood sorcery. But it will be a long process.
Yeah.
Multiple night process.
Multiple weeks process.
Multiple weeks process.
But yeah, so that is
It's a lot of rouse checks.
not much per se. Like we'll see how we'll get there when we get there. So like
Yeah.
as that's happening now, there's now like the gargoyles, like they've come on, they have the thick Austrian accents, and like they're mingling. And I've kind of like put a dent into like whatever Queen Anne had like arranged or planned or was plotting is kind of like got a dent in it now. But also like some of the other Tremere at this party are like very annoyed and concerned. However, like just again, like gargoyles in London have had like some forms of protections ever since like Mithras. Because Mithras used to just not tolerate Tremere in his domain.
Right.
Like I'll find something from that now. Like now we have gargoyles mingling. You have all of that stuff. It's all been out in the open. So, like kind of like people are catching on as like, so this was like what Basalt was always on about and shit like that. Wonder what he's got in order to like get the gargoyles under his finger. And then like during that time, like people are mingling. Like things are kind of like dying down. And, like the queen is going around. She's talking to people. She's shaking hands. She's requesting that people kiss her ring.
Track.
Appreciates it.
Yep. Again, a lot of it is like a lot of people are doing the similar thing to like Donald, because he is the Prince of Belfast. So a lot of Camarilla of they're kissing his ring and recognizing him as the Prince of Belfast. No one's doing that to Basalt. Basalt's just getting firm handshakes. A lot of people are congratulating Linda on like being recognized as a Baron again. But like during this time, like Simon, you are being approached by Sylvia Lucia.
Shit. Under Simon's breath. Shit.
If it isn't you, Simone's little duckling.
Yes, that would be me.
She kind of like puts her hands on her chin and like cocks her head. I didn't think you'd have it in you to show prowess.
Not not sure if I'm supposed to take that as a compliment or an insult.
Oh, no, don't worry. You're not the only one to let people inside them. Quite a tricky process.
Melissa is probably going to almost giggle.
It is quite a tricky process. But you have you're positively oozing with miasma and aura.
Thank you. I was wondering if you might be able to pick up on that, actually.
Oh, I'm sure quite a few people who are out and about would see this.
I have a cohort.
Yep, as the person in the wheelchair behind her is like, yes, you're positively rotting. I can see the novice. You still have much to maintain in accepting hosts. I wonder which one of you is in the driver's seat right now.
Well, parties are more of my thing. I'm Simon, by the way.
Oh, you're Simone.
Yes.
So marvelous of you to have been willing to take up your sire's name.
Yes.
Usually, though, we are of a kind of taking the last name of our sire.
Is that so?
Yes, we are both children of Lucia, who has much business to attend to in Italy and has not been able to grace this location with his presence.
That's understandable.
Still, it's still quite a surprise that you've been able to practice for so long without nary an issue. I mean, we haven't heard of any explosions in Belfast or in the morgue. The dead certainly aren't walking around.
I mean, I'd like to think I'm rather responsible.
Ah, yes, well, you are the only Coterie in Belfast.
True.
Many forces have made
True.
sure to keep that as the norm. So you can go about continuing your practices, however. You can only get so far with such mundane training and trial and error. You should actually follow in your sire's footsteps and return to the Belfast Chantry. There you could learn true necromancy.
Right. Yes, I've actually been looking into that a little bit. Looking into perhaps taking on a bit of a teacher.
Ah, yeah, well, there are many Agren students. I would personally gladly accept you under our wing.
Oh, what is your focus exactly? I know there's different branches of the practice.
Ah, well, and this is Sylvia speaking. I have been making sure and conducting safer ways to practice oblivion ceremonies, such as jaunts into the Shadowlands or peering into the Shadowlands. There's quite a few Hecata have come for my services. Many of the Sombra have as well. My brother here, Mercurio. He has been the savant of homunculi and actually raising the dead to serve.
Just writing this down real quick so I don't forget. Very, very interesting. I mean, I've not... like you've said, I'm a bit limited. I've not dabbled too much in...
You're certainly not thinking of going to the United Kingdom to study. That'd be quite a dangerous jaunt for you, wouldn't you say so?
Could be, if that's what I decide to do. I mean...
Oh, we can't let that...
I'm still thinking on it.
Oh, we certainly can't let that pater of the cult of Mithras get his hands on you. You're much to a aspiring prospect. mean, a bit of a sight for sore eyes, so to speak, but still. We can see what Simone saw in you. It'd be nice for you to actually return back to the fold and actually serve your intended purpose.
Yes, well, I mean, once things clear up a bit here, with the whole Baron situation, which has gotten a bit more complicated recently, I might be doing that.
I care not for the thoughts of barons and such. All that matters is the family.
Right, yes. Of course. Say, how long are you two planning on sticking around? I'm actually giving a performance later.
Oh, we will be here simply for the night. We must always return back to the Chantry in Belfast.
Ah,
We usually await and give our reports to the other fellow members of the Hakata.
well, I hope you are finding, Dublin to your liking.
Yes.
I've quite enjoyed my time here myself.
Yes, certainly. We will also certainly send Simone your wishes.
Yes, please do.
We will let her know that you are in good health.
Right, yes,
If
Tell
not
her-
carrying a bit of dead weight. He gives himself a little chuckle.
Simon actually does think that's kind of funny, so they do laugh. Yes, please send my condolences to Simone for not writing more. Things have been quite busy.
Yes. Well, she's most likely foreseen this already.
True. That is her bailiwick.
Yes. Anyway, we must really go and discuss other topics.
Very well. Have a
Hey.
pleasant evening.
They give you a little bow.
Simon does like a mini little bow curtsy situation.
If you want, I will let you make a wits occult check.
Sure. Let's do it. What is this roll for exactly?
You're basically she can see your miasma and like your aura clear as day. You reek of
Yeah.
oblivion. So like to her, you probably look like a corpse. Like you look like Alex was when, that happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
When he got pincushioned.
Yes.
Pincushioned, yeah.
So like
Okay.
the
Colton
longer
Wits.
the longer you have him posted to you, like the more like death aura sticks and stains to you. So like anyone who's like actually got a keen eye on this will literally just see you as a corpse.
Oh.
Until like
Okay.
you like kind of like expel Alex back into the pen and like call him back at some time.
Okay. All right. I'll roll the Colton
But
Wits.
again, like you're not super versed in like seeing like Oblivion sight and such. It's like
Yeah.
you have Oblivion sight, I believe.
I do. I've got discipline, sense. I've sense the unseen.
All right. Yep. So you don't have the. Give me a second. Yeah, but you have sense the unseen, premonition. You don't have like where the veil. Yeah, you have where the veil thins. Like,
True.
it's like you can you vaguely you can't quite see her aura. You can definitely see that a lot of death clings to Mercurio, mainly around his hands. So it looks as though he's wearing black gloves, even though he's not wearing gloves.
Oh, I have willpower. I could willpower reroll.
Yeah, you can willpower reroll if you want. Yes. So now
Much better.
you see a lot more. So you definitely see basically Mercurio, there's no death aura around him. It's literally just his hands, he's not wearing gloves, but his hands look pitch black.
Ooh.
Like almost as like he's wearing like thick leather gloves. You also see his wheelchair for what it is. A corpse. His
Whoa, that's
wheelchair
metal.
is possessed.
Possessed wheelchair, let's go.
And like the wheelchair itself is like serving him and moving him around.
Wow. That's neat.
He's not like wheeling himself. He has like a little like electric wheelchair controller, but that seems more like for show.
That's such a flex. Like, he could get a real electric wheelchair, but I'm gonna get a ghost to possess it.
Get a ghost chair instead.
I
Yep.
mean, probably cheaper.
With how insurance is, yeah, probably.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, but
And then Sylvia has
Yep.
just like a general.
as
vibe
for
to her then?
Sylvia, you probably like see it. Her like aura, her essence, like tendrils, it looks like she has a mass of like many black tentacles that are like caressing your aura. So like it literally looks like she's just got a bunch of like black seeping octopus tentacles just like going around you, like not so much touching you but like feeling around you.
Yeah, these people are creepy as hell.
Like tiny suction cups going.
I should probably have Oblivion Sight active as well, just to see if anything else is around us. Because there's probably just a ghost by itself here somewhere.
Perhaps.
Sure.
But like then she does it. It's like she kind of like bows her head a little bit and like walks away. Like once her back's turned to you with like her long black hair, she does kind of like resemble like this like octopus creature as like she's walking away. All you see is like this black visage, and like her tentacles also doing it with other kindred.
Yeah, very
But
Doc Ock.
it's Scylla.
Oh yeah. Simon like lets out a breath that they didn't like know they were. They don't even need to breathe, but they were like holding their breath the entire
Yep.
time.
So like you've gone about it, like there's that, and like they've left the pleasantries. They've said that like they send Simone your best wishes. Kind of disappointing that you aren't like saying that you're going to go to Belfast right away.
Yeah,
such.
kind of got my hands tied. And I also don't really want to. Oh yeah. Simon's gonna join up with their friends,
Yep.
looking a little bit clammy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably just gonna go to the gangrel area and talk to my people.
Yep. I'd say as you're walking along, you start hearing like a whisper in your ear, Penny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Traitor, hater, kinslayer, debater.
Oh, they're teasing me. Wonderful.
No, this isn't Gangrel doing this. This is actually a voice in your head.
Mm.
This is someone worming into your mind right now.
Mm.
That's not good.
Before you feel a little slap to the side of your head. As Rocco appears to your side and kind of like flick. Let's not be having any of that.
You can't. None of that here. None
No.
of that for now.
I'd be concerned, though. It seems Julieta Parr has taken a liking to you. She's almost been glaring at you as much as she's been glaring at me. You haven't done something to piss off the Camarilla in London, have you? I mean,
Not that I know.
aside from being yourself.
I don't know, but it's a Camarilla. I don't really care about what they think.
Well, the Camarilla seem to care about what they think of you, so show some concern, you know?
Well, should I bless them and see what happens?
Fuck no. Just keep your distance. Don't do anything stupid.
Hmm?
Don't be a fucking moron.
But it would be funny.
You would be really funny.
Like, you have any idea how many kindred Julieta Parra has killed on the mere suspicion of being a traitor to the Camarilla? Not to mention the fact that she's probably, like, killed an Anarch or two on the way here.
Oh, most definitely. I guarantee you every single one of the Camarilla here has at least tried to.
Yeah, well. Don't do anything stupid.
I
Mel,
won't.
knock yourself out. And then, so like, brief moment as the moment Rocco leaves, though. Tick. 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 Ah, this fucking watch. Gotta keep winding it. Never getting a Rolex again.
Electronic watches are better. Don't make any sound.
But Rolexes are classy. Just you're not gonna go there like, what? Go beep, 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 beep.
I mean, I'd rather not have something that flashy on me.
Yeah, well, Flashy invites robbers and robbers invites meals.
Fair. Oh no, the ticking is just, I'm still remembering the beast.
Right. That's, yeah.
Because it clicked when it walked,
True.
so that's...
Yep.
Yeah.
So, gonna go look for the gangrel?
Yes, I'm going to go look for any of the gangrels that are here.
Roll
them.
Again, to be honest, you could probably just roll Sense of the Beast.
Yeah.
Or you could... So it'd either be like... Resolve Animalism.
Resolve animalism.
Yep.
Barely any dice. It's good enough.
Still good enough to, like, catch what looks to be the very gangrel people. Or a very gangrel person. It is also a gentleman with... Basically, he's wearing like a denim jacket. He's got thick shades on. Let me see if I can find a picture. Okay, it's over here. No, I'm looking for the picture. I have found it.
Oop.
And then, boop. Boop. Take it to stage. Looks like this. Like wearing a denim jacket, shades, spiky hair, holding a whiskey bottle.
Stuff's gonna ruin your liver.
I can just get a new one. So, what brings you here, Gangrel who isn't Gangrel?
I'm just getting a lay of the land, knowing everyone who's here.
Well, have a look around. Who among the group looks like good game?
There are a few of the Camarilla that seem pretty easy, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to mess with any of them. Don't want to get on the queen.
They're working around, they've got confidence, they've got swagger, they think they're untouchable even though they're in Anarch territory. I'm sure if once they got home they would get a little more cautious, but there's nothing about killing a beast in their own territory, right?
No. They can hunt as much as they want. It's the moment we try it, we're in trouble.
That's the thing about the Camarilla. Camarilla hate weakness, and there's nothing more weak than getting killed like an Anarch in your own bedroom.
Yeah.
But still. You're not exactly one for the hunt, are you? You don't have it in you.
Prefer not to.
Come on. Run wild.
Yeah.
Surely you've run into some good game recently.
Well, there was the thing in the sewers.
We've heard about that.
Yeah. Big beast. Looks like a rat until you move in front of it and then it changes.
Ooh, that is very tempting. But it seems you've already engaged with it, and we're not one for taking on other people's business. So we'll leave that to you. That's your quarry for now. Well, I'll be sure to go and let the other gangrel know that whatever is in the sewers is to be killed by Penelope.
Oh,
Or
no, that's
Penelope
free
is to be
game.
killed by it.
That's free game. That's whoever wants it, get it. Whoever gets it first.
We'll see. That's the thing, though. Even a beast takes issue with people who fight when their quarry fights back. If it hunted you and then you got away, what's to say it doesn't want to continue?
Too much of a machine. Didn't smell like a creature, it smelled like a car with a gas leak.
That's the thing. There's no such thing as just a machine in our walk of life.
5-4 transit!
It's alive.
Even a vehicle can come to be offended.
Yes. Spirit of machine and all that.
Offendered.
Well,
That's funny, you know.
when you're feeling dead on your feet and actually being a true gangrel, why not come to Phoenix Park? We can surely arrange some form of game for you.
I've been planning on it for a while, but work takes over everything.
Yes. Still Basalt Slapdog.
For now.
Sure you're cozying up to that ghoul at the church as well?
Yes. Hey, good weapons, good
That guy.
stakes.
He's got some spunk in him. You know, before the cancer got to him. Don't worry though. We're not allowed to touch him. Don't want to piss Linda off.
I mean, I mean, from what I've heard, from what he's said, he's still technically a hunter.
He's borrowed time. That's what all hunters are on. All hunters are on borrowed time. Just like all those bastards of the Second Inquisition who were cozying up, patting themselves on the back of John Wardle in London. They don't last long.
Might last longer than we expect or hope.
There'd be only one way to find out, and that's for someone crazy enough with large enough cojones to go over and see for themselves.
I don't know. A few in the park might want to get out of their own
Yeah.
territory, go hunt in some other land.
Yeah, we've been thinking about that. You know, chasing wolves, hanging around with the hyenas. It's a good life. We like it there.
Hell, maybe you could get some of your own land there too.
Hey, Dublin is our land. We bled
No,
for
you
it.
could get more.
No, we're content with Dublin. Dublin is our land. We bled for it. We fought a fucking war for it. We're not gonna let some fucking uptight baron from Las Vegas take all our glory. And whatever little group of cunts he's brought alongside him.
No, one last thing is, I have noticed a lot of the gangles here are a little smaller than they are around the world.
Let's see. That will require a check. I want you to make a strength intimidation check. No, actually, no. Resolve intimidation. Fuck me, I was trying to avoid rolling tonight, but
I apologize.
it's fine.
Shit.
A pure vampiric. I mean, you could willpower that.
Yeah,
I'm going to.
Do you want a willpower reroll?
Ooh, much better.
So the side for everyone else right now is literally Penny and this other gangrel head to head. Like both of you have like puffed yourselves up and like literally forehead to forehead. Like but the guy you're against, he's in a voice a lot more bestial. Like he's like he got there, but with a bestial failure.
Oof.
You got there, but your beast is still
Contained.
Yep. So then he. Go back to reading a Bible, you fucking preacher.
Hey, who knows? It might come in handy one of these days. If I don't burst into flames from it.
Literally, he's gone to walk away from you, but you see that he's literally just snatched one of the mortals who are like offering themselves away and like taking them to a corner, like taking them around the corner.
That was fun. That should keep the beast entertained for a little bit.
Yep. So like for all of that, there's been like nice soft piano playing in the corner.
Who's
Simon,
playing the piano?
do you want to add to this?
Sure, yeah. Do I is this person, do I know, can I tell if they're Camarilla, Anarch? Like,
They appear to be Camarilla.
okay. Yeah, sure, why not?
So
Simon does have their violin case
you go and, like,
strapped
you
to their
pull
back.
out, yep, you go and pull out your violin.
Yep. tuning it, making sure it's all because humidity can affect the strings and whatnot. So just making sure it's still sounding good.
So it will be a charisma performance check with your bonus
All
for
right.
violin.
With my how do I add that?
You just add a +1.
Oh, I just added +1. It's not adding. Oh, right. I do it after I confirm, right?
Yes.
There it is. Okay. And I just add 1 to vampire dice, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Hi, my cat is on my desk in front of me. Excuse me, ma'am. I can't see.
All right. So.
And I'm gonna re-roll with willpower as well.
Willpower reroll.
So let me check that off. Oh, actually, no. I should check it off after I. Hold on.
Or you can just right-click it, I believe.
Yeah, there we go. Oh my god, my cat is in my face. Rennie, I need you to move. Thank you.
Little baby.
Nope. It's fine. It's not that bad.
So, how it goes about is there's just like this brief little moment of like, you testing the strings before you begin to start softly playing. So you kind of like manage to play it off as, hey, you just did that so you could get everyone to pay attention to your real performance. Sure, that sounds about right. So you begin to softly play this violin. You get the attention of almost everyone. A lot of people still seem to be stuck in their own little like discussions and their own hubbub. But you do manage to turn a few heads as you begin to play. Like, you match with the tempo of the piano and begin to just fall into your own little sound.
Yeah.
And you get into your own little rhythm. And throughout that, while playing, does anyone else have anything they want to do?
Melissa is going to, well, hear the music, approach Penelope, and ask for a dance.
Penelope will accept.
Okay. What about Mac and Kit?
Gonna listen happily.
Okay.
It's
Kit.
just gonna sit there.
Someone is
Everyone.
going to offer to dance with you. A tall, buxom lady in a white dress with long black hair will offer you a dance.
Kit,
Who?
Oh, no. Again, I will say, like, this Kindred, she's very tall, very buxom, wearing a white
Right, no.
dress.
Who of us is being
Kit.
invited to this?
Kit?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
does Kit recognize who this is?
Vaguely. You've met her before. Mac, you have also met this lady before. For Kit, she appears as like the woman of your dreams. You've thought about her a lot since you last met her. This is Elvira. So you, Mac, you have...
Accept dance.
Okay. For Mac, you have met this lady before. You remember this woman? She was at the party the night you were turned.
Okay.
And you just see her.
Interesting.
She's going around. She's going around like dancing with Kit. Like, Kit's on the short side, isn't she?
She's 5'2". But she also has about 3-inch heels.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
the
I'd say
heels.
those high-inch heels are the only thing that save you from your head being crushed by her bosom. Kind of like
No!
resting. So it doesn't
The
look
giant
it-
lesbian
it-
approach.
It doesn't look like it's so literally like if you weren't that tall, it would be very much more of a case like she's just resting her boobs on your head. And like
pretty
it's
much
like
she's
she's that tall woman is dancing with child.
So pretty much eye level with her chest.
Yes.
Emily.
You're like
Please
you're
stop.
having to like flex your spine back to not like bury your face in them.
This is criminal. This is
Uh,
criminal.
It's like Penelope's just there like, should have been me.
Also, Melissa.
But yeah. She's going around like she's dancing around with you, Kit. She simply just says, "It is so good to see you again, my dear Katrina."
Yes. Give me a second. My throat's now deciding to be a pain. At least it's not dry. It's just sinuses. Oh, And
It's
now I
okay.
lost my
It's okay. She'll pull you closer. Drink.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just nice, slow dancing.
God dang it.
She only says that, and you're like, you do appear kind of entranced in a sense. Can't quite put your finger on it. But aside from like that, you dance with her for the rest of the night as everyone else watches and Simon plays. And that is where I will end the session.
Yay. That was
Alrighty.